It's the season finale of the Tub Thumpers. One of our favourites on tonight. I love this guy. I can't believe it. And he's going to be
People
over here.
Say, they say, don't they? Save the best to last. But I think this time we have.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have... Here he is.
Alf.
It's Alf. No, it's a night watch trooper. What is it? Who is it, Si? Who is it?
It's just Chris Mira.
Oh, this is it's just Chris Mira.
It's just Chris.
Just Chris. Hiya, pal. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Happy to see you both. This is awesome, and so many folks in the chat already.
Oh, wow.
I love this community. Love it.
The chat is unbelievable. I mean, to me, you're my favourite Dutch person. Did you know that? You know that, don't you? But to Si has got loads of favourite Dutch people. It's true. I'll show you.
Is het lang geleden? Is het lang geleden? Dat mijn hartje riep met zijn dingen dan. Is het lang geleden? Is het lang geleden? In de zomerzon ging het bim bam bam. Tikketak ging het duren. Hoe lang zou het duren? Tikketak en dan bim bam bam. Tikketak, al die nachten bleef ik op je wachten. Tikketak en toen bim bam bam. De tijd was om.
I don't know any of them people.
Love it. Love the song. Love the song.
1975 Eurovision.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you see, I mean, cultured, Chris. We're cultured, you know.
Well, it annoyed me because at the Eurovision, it was sung in an English accent. And
it was.
How cool does it sound in the Dutch accent?
Much better. But they also...
twice as cool.
But did you also know, Chris and our side, that they also sang it in Polish and Italian?
Well,
Mamma mia.
You see, people come here for the knowledge sites, for the knowledge, you know what I mean? And in Holland, it's called, is it Ding Dong? And in England, it was called Ding a Dong.
Ding Dong, yeah.
Yeah.
Ding Dong.
There you go. Hello, Matt's Collection. Hello, G-Force. Hello, Rhino. Finally made it to the start of one of these. I can't stay to the end, though. Well, you're going to miss something if you can't stay to the end. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's with it being the finale. Si, what about your magic tonight?
Oh, I've used all power for the last show. All power.
Hi, Carol. Dragon Reborn's here. Kieran's here. Now, this is a question we ask everybody, Chris, and I'd like to ask you. So you're in a bar, Chris, right? You're all dolled up and you look nice, and you go to the bar. And all of a sudden, there's a girl at the bar, and you think, "Oh, she's nice." So let's what should we call her? We'll call her Bethany, right? So there's Bethany at the bar, and she says, "Oh, would you, Chris, or would you not go? Hi, my name is Ricardo, just like you down here."
No, I would go. Bond. James Bond. Yeah.
Yes, that works. That always works.
I'll go Sean Connery all the way.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. Hey, look who's come to see you. Lovely Scuba Pete. There he is.
Oh, do you remember that day he got that in and he took them pictures of it in bed and on a night out and everything with that Eternian play set? They were funny pictures.
Yeah.
They were in bed and everything else. Yeah.
Remember? I mean,
yeah. G4 says it was a good day today. He pre-ordered that Asajj Ventress. I watched my Usual Mike's video this morning, and I saw all the new stuff. Oppie's here, higher ups. Oh, brilliant! Guess who else has come to see us?
I love Cliff Richard. Love it.
So does Keith. Keith loves him. So. Gap's here, Delvian's here. Good evening. It's going to be awesome tonight. It's bumper packed tonight. We've got loads of stuff to go through. So Oh, look who
Shabby.
else is here. Smooth, size, smooth. This is awesome. Everyone's come to
Too
see
smooth for me.
Chris. Zoe T's here. Hi, Zoe. Let's have a look who else is here. If I've missed anybody. Oh, there we go. I have just clocked the thumbnails drum set. Yeah, you were there.
Sponsored everywhere now, Zoe.
Sponsored by the Thistle Do So. Hi, Biker. Dario's here. Didn't you book them, Zoe? No, that's the thing. I think me, Chris, and Sarah are going to have to take our band to the Thistle Do, aren't we? Thistle Do Bar.
Yeah.
This will be
Well,
charge a
see,
lot. Yeah.
only one he packed it in, so we had to replace him with Chris for this week.
What's this all about? Dolls or something? No, not dolls tonight. Living dolls. Look at it that way, Chris. Cat night, hiya cat, hiya Pete.
Hey, Cat.
Pete Toys and Things is here. Hiya Pete. Everyone's come. Wins here. Wow, everybody's here. Everybody. Let's try and get down here because we've got a lot to go through. And if I fall behind tonight, it's a bumper finale. So I might just fall behind. Let's see who else is come to see you. Oh, Connor. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Show it yourself. Hope that covers it. Yeah. He has this thing, Chris, about saying hello to everybody in the chat. But you have to, though. No, you don't, do you, Si? You right. Just right.
That's right. Tip of the cap to all in chat. And that's me saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
All that business all night for 2 hours.
I can't believe it. We've done that many Tub Thumpers. It's funny what Matt's just said there at the intro. We've done that many now that it actually takes up the whole song. Because if you watch Tub Thumpers, it's half a song and a little bit more. And today was all of it. So that's pretty good. What the France Shabby season? Yeah, this is it. After tonight, we aren't going to be doing I've got to talk to Des, Zoe, and Mr. Berry. We are going to do the gallery part 2. And so we're going to sort that out. We were going to do it next Wednesday, but it's the Merseyside derby, Everton, Liverpool, isn't it, next week? So we can't do it Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. Hey, Coxie. Hey, did you see what Coxie got this morning? Tape recorders and DVDs.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. He's going to do it all up and everything, get it back going.
Georgie says, we love you, Chris. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, George and Georgie are here. Fabulous people in the chat. Cheers, Georgie. Anyone whose favourite Dutch person isn't gold member, then they're lying. Old member.
I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark, good old donuts here. There are 2 things I can't stand: people intolerant of each other's cultures and the Dutch. Charming, eh, Chris? Charming.
Charming, yes.
That's so scary. Charming. Brilliant. I know. My favourite Dutch person is gold member, then Van Dijk, then Chris. So you're third, Chris.
Oh, that's not
You know what I
bad.
mean? That's not bad being third, Coxie. That's all right for him. Don't knock Eurovision. It's great fun to watch. I haven't watched it in years. Is it? They
I
show
would
it
miss
over here.
Eurovision. Me and Clyde don't think we've missed Eurovision in decades. Just haven't missed it. Love Eurovision. I like the way the Australia's included in Eurovision.
When we watch Eurovision over here in the Netherlands, I always tune to the BBC version where you can hear Graham Norton going over the commentary because that's so much fun to watch. Does he still do it? Because I missed last year. Does he still? Oh,
yeah, still does it. Yeah,
love him.
He's a bit sarky and it comes with a lot of sarcasm. It's funny.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Oh, Martin and Adam, good old Martin's
I watched
here.
their video as well before. They were reviewing the new reveals.
Yeah. Last one's show 42. 42 is the meaning of life, which is spooky. Is it? 42 has got to do with the meaning of life. I didn't know that.
Ooh.
Let's have a look. Anyone remember the Chinese front door installer? His name was Ding Dong. Nice win. Nice. They get him on and they tell him, then get him on the line and tell him straight that he's my second. I don't know what that means. Des T says, are you going to echo this? Well, I told Des he's having a conversation about. Brilliant. Oh, let's have a look. Chris doesn't need to pretend his name is Ricardo. He's already too cool for school. Look at that.
Right, cool.
We're going to find a load. We're going to find loads of stuff out about Chris Mirror. In fact, let's find out a couple of things about Chris Mirror already with our quick fire round, the news in 20 questions. Right. So you've got he's either or, Mr. Mira, either or. Simon, would you like to start?
Yes, Chris, either or. Do you prefer going upstairs or do you prefer going downstairs?
Upstairs, because there's my toy room. I love being here.
That's a good answer. That side, good answer. Chris, He-Man or Skeletor?
Ooh, has to be Skeletor. Has to be.
Why? Why
Yeah.
Skeletor? Why the bad guys? You pick the bad guys like Sidles, the Empire.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
love him. I love him. I have a thing with Skeletor. I even dressed up as him a couple of times, and I love it when he goes, "I cover my throne with your hide, you boob," or something like that.
Your ball.
Love it.
Good answer. Good answer.
Chris, on the same sort of subject, Batman or Superman?
I knew it was coming. For me, Batman. For me, Batman.
See? Man of
Definitely.
taste, that.
Chris, Rotterdam or Utrecht?
Oh, that's a good one. Utrecht, because Utrecht holds some fine Comic Cons in my country, so I love going there for the Comic Con. So on basis of that, I'm going to say Utrecht, but both great towns.
Because I was reading about it this morning, and it said Utrecht's one of the oldest towns, and this and that. And you, because of the comics.
Comic Con.
You do a great X-Men collection.
Because of the comics, absolutely brilliant. Oh, great stuff.
Chris, baseball cap or bandana?
Ooh. I love my caps. Love them. But bandana, since I dove deeper into the character Macho Man from WWE, Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, the cream of the crop. Yeah.
Really?
I love those bandanas. So maybe I'll take a few bandanas to Joe Fest. Who knows?
Bandanas.
Chris, drop, which is a Dutch licorice, or stroopwafel.
Stroopwafels, day and night. Yeah.
Stroopwafels. Why? What's a stroopwafel? Is it a sugary kind of waffle?
It's a waffle with some caramel or some sweets. It's different things you can put in there, and the way to eat them is to get a hot cup of tea, put your waffle on top of it, and then let it caramelize a bit, heat up a bit, and then eat it. Or you can do it in a pan over the furnace. That's what my great grandmother. Do I say that right? My great grandmother. When we came over there as kids, she always make those stroopwafels for me. So that's how I got addicted to them. That's how it started. So it's nostalgic. It's good to eat. And yeah, it's wonderful. So I try to bring a few over to the States when I'm
right.
If I can get them through customs, I will bring a few.
What's in here? Stroopwafels. That's it. Get him in the. Go on, Si.
Chris, dinosaurs, true or false?
Oh, come on. You watched Denver, the Last Dinosaurs on Fun Factory back in the 80s, didn't you, Si? It's gotta be true because it's on TV.
Chris, Hollywood vampires or Dogstar?
Oh my God! I know you're breaking my leg. Yeah.
You only pick one, Chris.
Only pick one. Ooh, yeah. Keanu is a great guy who is performing in Dogstar for the ones watching who don't know. And Hollywood Vampires consists of some great artists like Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp. A friend of mine is in there, Tommy Hendrickson, Joe Perry. Oh my God. Yeah, Hollywood Vampires. I've seen them a couple of times. Johnny is a great guy. Hollywood Vampires. Rock it.
T's and A's exclusive, Si. It's Hollywood Vampires.
That'll be on with that lineup, ain't it? How could it not be?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Chris, whiskey or beer?
Ooh, that's a good question. I have a medical condition, so I can't really drink alcohol. But I've been on my first road trip to the UK. I didn't really pay much attention to it, so I went to Scotland, and the guy at the bar said, "Oh, where are you from?" "I'm from the Netherlands." "Oh, that's funny. Like to taste a wee bit of And he starts serving me a few beverages and try this whiskey and try that. I liked it, whiskey, so I definitely would say whiskey on basis of that.
Yeah, man.
Guitar.
Yes, I do. I know the Scottish very well, and she'll be very glad of that answer.
It's like that, be honest.
Hear that, George Aiken? I went
Yes.
to that with whiskey.
Guitar or drums?
Oh yeah. I play guitar now, but the drums is such an important position in a band. Without drums and bass, basically they are the engine that keeps the band going. There's no band at all. But for me, I'm a guitar player now. I started with bass and now a guitar player. Definitely guitar for me.
Hi, Luke. Our Luke says, my favourite flying Dutchman, AOPR Chris. And the other person that was here, I might as well, I mean, I've played everybody else's, so I might as well play this.
I am the last of the famous international playboy.
The Berries come to see you. Brilliant.
It's my brother, Adam, my brother. We're going to meet Martin, Adam, and yours truly not too far from now in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah,
coming
so
over.
good,
So
yeah.
that's
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. Shabs is going all Craig David headphones tonight. He looks like a proper boa. Right, so what's your next one, Si?
Chris, Hogwarts or the X-Men Mansion?
Oh,
my. Yeah, the X-Men Mansion. Is Patrick Stewart going to be in the X-Men Mansion?
Yes.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah, now I definitely want to meet Jean-Luc Picard, even if he is Savior. So definitely the X-Men Mansion on basis of that.
Like it.
Chris, Van Gogh or Van Basten?
Oh, a foodie question or an art.
They were both artists, if you think about it.
Truly, true, right? So, rightly so. Yeah, I would love to sit around and chat with Van Basten. That would be fun. Yeah, he definitely was a hero of me in the 80s, you know. So that, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you could sit there with Van Gogh, but you'd probably go, what?
He would, yeah. He would, yeah, and Van Basten, you know, and we had Dennis Bergkamp and
Ruud
those.
Gullit,
We had
Rijkaard.
Rijkaard. We had such great players back in those days. Yeah, definitely still do, but there's something about the 80s,
squad.
you know.
Great
And
squad.
yeah.
Hey, good old Super Awesomes come to see you. Donny says Australia are inside because of the Eurovision Broadcasting Union, hence they can take part.
Oh, just so they can just come in just because they like it.
Right, go on, Si, what's your next one, buddy?
Chris, The Matrix or John Wick?
Oh yeah.
Even I couldn't get that one.
That's it's you want to keep your left or your right hand, you know. It's really Keanu again, love him. He's such a kind guy and I love his work and his music even more, strange as it might sound, but it has to be The Matrix because that movie made such an impact when it came out in that time.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. And John Wick is brilliant for what it, but Matrix did something at the time it came out, nothing like that we saw before.
Yeah,
Biker Scout says great memories of watching Eurovision in the 80s at my grand's. Terry Wogan era was the best. I forgot Terry Wogan did it. Yeah,
he did for years, didn't he?
Yeah, you're all going out soon. Let's see if I can find anything else before I go down.
Yeah.
I just picked up the Retro Panther and Skeletor this week. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I like the way you think there, Carol. I like the way you think.
We love our Motu, and we love our Motu.
Well, as we can see with me and Mr. Miro, we are huge fans.
Yeah, you wouldn't say, but yeah, it's almost 360 around me. It's Motu is taking over this room.
Yeah. Chris, Matt or Tez?
Oh man, that's impossible. Yeah, that's
no,
impossible.
it isn't. I could tell you.
I'm picking you, Shabby. Okay. That's the third option.
You have to pick one of them, and you have to give me a reason why you've picked that one.
I can. We met at NEC last year, and I loved them both, and they're great, you know. And I love Tess's Spectrum movies. He once said, "Oh, Chris is the only one watching and commenting sometimes on my Spectrum movies."
Did you feel sorry for him, Chris?
That was fun. No. Great lads, love them both.
It's funny you say that because if it was me, I would have gone Matt because of Spectrum. All right, Si, go on.
Chris, Linda Carter or Victoria Principal?
Oh, great question.
Can I get a help line for this one, or is it Alf? Come over here. Where are you, Alf? What? No, she's not in here. Can't pick a cat. No, there's no cats. What? He says Linda.
Oh,
Linda
that's
Carter.
2 for Linda Carter. Side, that's 2.
2 on the list.
Chris Meara, Stampot or bitter pollen?
Going all Dutch with the food. I love me stamp pots. Do they have stamp pots? I knew they have them in the UK. Do they have a lot of stamp pots in the US, Shabby?
No, nothing like that over here. Bitter pollen, which was one that's shaped like a ball, the ball ones. That's
Yeah,
what
they're like croquet. Do you have croquettes or croquettes?
Scotch eggs? They reminded me of Scotch eggs and so forth. That's what they reminded me of. But I thought, yeah, double nice. So your answer is which one?
Stamp pot. Yeah.
Cycle. Don't forget to sub to Chasing 80s. Thank you, Scuba Pete, for that. That was awesome.
Cheers.
Chris, moon landing. Did it happen? Yes or no?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think it definitely happened. Definitely was before our time, but I think it happened. Again, it was on TV. If it's on TV, it's got to be real, right? Do you remember that movie that Ringo Starr did? I think the movie is called Caveman, and he's in there with dinosaurs. So you actually see people with dinosaurs together. So again, that's got to be real.
Well, I've got to agree with that. Say, Ringo Starrs with dinosaur size. It's got to be real. Yeah, you agree with that?
Real.
Mr. Reynolds says Chris has sent me some Stroop waffles. They were delicious. Stroop? What a Stroop
And
waffle?
the best stroop waffles, but I can't bring them because they only have a date that you got to eat them before those are the fresh ones. They bake at a stall and you buy them and they're coming hot from the counter, and you can only keep those a few days and then they start to go worse. So the ones that I'm going to bring over are going to be pre-packaged, and those are not the best stroop waffles you can get. You have to get those fresh ones. But
Right, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4?
Help me again, because it's been such a long time. Who's the bad guy in Rocky 3 and who's the bad guy in Rocky 4 again?
Clubber Lang, Rocky 3. Ivan Drago, Rocky 4.
Yeah. Ivan Drago, yeah, Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Dolph because he was in He-Man. And I like what they did at the time, so I'm definitely going to go for the Rocky that he's the bad guy in. Yeah, definitely.
Scuba's got a question for you too. Gravy or extra gravy? That's a good one. You know what I mean? Brilliant. Question for Chris: Shabby or Si? It's got to be Shabby, hasn't it? It's got to be.
It's got to be Si, hasn't it?
Oh, the magic gives you an edge.
Chris,
Thank you. See,
nice.
One of the forest folk, Chris.
And you know, Shabby, and the first time I saw you on CSR, I'm from the Netherlands, so I speak Dutch. English is not my main language, so I'm not that good at it. I think myself. And the first time I saw you on CSR, Shabby, I'm like, oh man, I really got to sit to understand what he's saying. I really have to switch to the accent sometimes.
No, we English do that too.
So it's definitely. Yeah, but it's fun. I love you both, and you know it. You know it. We met, Si and I. We had a short little chat at NEC, and I enjoyed that a lot. And the three of us are gonna meet again in Joe Fest this year. So I love you both. I'm not gonna pick between you. Don't do that to me.
Smithload says, Chris, a nice cold beer on a hot summer's day, or a £1 burger and the following horrid bowel evacuation.
£1 burgers can be quite good.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. You know, it's funny. You were talking about your about your cosplay and stuff like that, because I can't believe how good it actually is. And for anyone who doesn't know, not only does our Chris have a toy and pop culture channel, but he also does cosplay. I'll show you.
Well, I quit my job down at the car wash. I left my mama a goodbye note. By sundown, I left Kingston with my guitar under my coat. I hitchhiked all the way down to Memphis, got a room at the YMCA. For the next 3 weeks, I went hunting them nightclubs looking for a place to play. Well, I thought my picking would set 'em on fire, but nobody wanted to hire a guitar man. Well, I nearly about starved to death down in Memphis. I run out of money and luck, so I bought me a ride down to Macon, Georgia on an overloaded poultry truck. I thumbed on down to Panama City, started picking out some of them all-night bars, hoping I could make myself $1 making music on my guitar. I got the same old story, them all-night tears. There ain't no room around here for a guitar man. We don't need a guitar man, son. So I slept in the hobo jungles. I roamed 1,000 miles of track till I found myself in Mobile, Alabama. Had a club they called Big Jack's. A little 4-piece band was jamming, so I took my guitar and I set in. I showed them what a band would sound like. I was a swinging little guitar man. Show them, son.
I still got the sword.
Great, it's brilliant.
How cool is that cosplay? I remember years ago we did a community dance video, and I got everyone to send me. And you sent one, and you dressed as Skeleton. It's the first time I'd seen it, and you sent this thing with an effect on it. I thought, what the France? And it wasn't until then I realised, holy moly, you do loads of cosplay and so forth. So how did you get into that?
Oh, how did it happen? I think I started really cosplaying in 2017, but I was always as a kid, I loved those big costume movies, the ones with Errol Flynn or Burt Lancaster, those great big pirate or medieval movies and the John Wayne stuff. And I loved dressing up as a kid, getting in character and a bit of acting in there in the mix as well. And I still like it today. I never grew up. Like I think many of us are still child at heart. So I love the acting aspect of it. And we didn't have Comic Cons like they have in the States for that long a time compared to, I think the UK and the US were way ahead of us before we got a Comic Con in the Netherlands. But as soon as we got them over here and some great outdoor events as well, I jumped on the bandwagon and start making or buying costumes. And it's so much fun to do. It's so much fun to do.
Good though. How long what's been your hardest cosplay to make? Like, oh, this is a nightmare, this one.
The hardest to make? Well, I didn't make each and every one of them. Sometimes I just paid other people who made them.
Right.
Because I don't have the skills, but the Halo outfit, the whole body armor, and me with the sword, that thing came out of a 3D printer, and a good girlfriend of mine did the 3D printing part, but they come out raw, so you have to sand them, different layers of paint, getting them glued together, get a construction so it actually stays on your body once you put it on. That I don't know how many times I was stuck into that, but that was a lot of work. And it's a nightmare to wear that armor, because once you're trying it on at home for an hour, it's okay. But when you're walking around 8 hours on a convention in that thing, man, you feel your back, and I'm not getting any younger.
It's funny because
you know what? That's what put me off. I was going to buy a Stormtrooper outfit years ago, right? And I was really into it. I thought, I'm going to get all the pieces. I'm just going to buy one and everything and wear it. But there's so many people that said that it nips you. That when you're walking or you sit or anything, this outfit will actually nip you under your arms or on your thought.
If it's,
I can't wear that.
Unless it's tailor fit to you and it fits like a glove, that makes a lot of difference. And it depends on the costume and how heavy it is, and if you're fit. Or I have a bit of a back issue myself, so that basically necks me when I do it too long. But you go through with it. You need to drink a lot because it's hard in a costume.
Oh yeah, the hydration.
Keep moving, keep on moving. Keep on. As long as you keep on moving, it's okay, and you can make it. And the reactions you get from people at conventions, and you're there with your mates, so you're having fun. That gives you so much energy. It's the moments you're on the end of the convention, you put off your helmet, and you put off your armor, and you need to sit in the car for the drive home. You're like, oh, I'm in pain. Then that's when the pain trucks in.
Brilliant. G-Paul says, my cosplay interest stems from dressing up for Halloween. We always try to do a better costume in the next year. Our mum does. Our mum dressed up loads of times. I remember when my kids were little toddlers, and my mum dressed up as Snow White, and my kids couldn't get over it, could they, Si? They honestly thought she was Snow. You know, it's one of my mum's favourite experiences. That, but I've never had that. It's funny that I've never had the who would I dress up as me? Probably Si. Just let me a joke.
It would be Halloween.
Is there anyone you haven't done, Chris, but you'd love to do?
Yeah, there's got to be tons of things I haven't done yet. I love those big armors, but I think I'm getting a bit on an age, and with my back problems, that might not be the smartest thing to do to get into a complete armor game. I would love to have a medieval armor, like, for instance, the movie Excalibur from the 80s. They got some beautiful pieces. How do you call that in English? We call it a harness.
Harness, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that what they call them? The medieval suit of armor? Yeah,
the harness sets, yeah.
A harness, yeah. I would love that. I would love to one day, because I'm a big fan of Tony Stark and Iron Man. I got a few body parts already to wear, like the legs, the arm, and the pulse receptor. And I got the helm that moves open with the lights, got that. But I never wore a complete Iron Man suit. And that would still be a dream, but I think I couldn't wear that all day. Plus, if you go to the toilet, and I don't know how it is for you, like, the older I get, the more breaks I have to take. Imagine being in a complete armor, like, okay, who's gonna help me out of it? Because
we're going along. Fuller says I cosplay as GT Force. I stick a banana on my forehead and run around to the penny music. And he goes, I still haven't seen the royalties for that. Absolutely brilliant. Who would you do, Si? If you had to dress up, Si, if you had to do it, so Chris has invited me and you to one of these conventions. Who would you go as?
I've always said the same thing. In Batman 66, Frank Gershwin, he had this Riddler suit, and it was like a black shirt, green tie. Oh, this suit was just beautiful. All big question marks all over it. If I had to do any cosplay, I would have to go in that Frank Gershwin Riddler suit. I'd have to.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you were to bring a cosplay to the States or something like that, then I might bring something. No, I'm going to bring something too. If you're going to do it, Si, I'm going to bring something. Because cosplay is, like you say, very right. So it doesn't have to be armor. It can be clothing. And the clothing is way more comfortable because it's clothing. Like if I wear Captain Jack Sparrow or John Wick, it's a suit. And that's so comfortable to walk. So it's I always
said to the lads, the finale, I'd like to go for the finale of the Three Amigos, where we all go as hundreds of Three Amigos. You know, in the town of Mexico. I think we should all do that. And they're all like, yeah. And they went, and then I found the outfit on Amazon, and they all went, no.
I found it.
Well, it's a good job you said yes. I'd love to do that. Jonathan says, if I
brilliant. Love your thinking.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. If I was ever going to go dress up for, it'd be weird for everybody else because everybody like, oh, there's an amigo, there's one,
that's great. Like, and we need to have one singing bush, right?
Yeah, we'd be everywhere. John says, if you're ever going to dress up for cosplay, it would be super comfy outfit that doesn't get too hot or cold. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Doesn't exist.
No, I've talked to, like I say, Matt, Zero Hunter Toys did a lot of cosplaying. You've seen it on Z-Star, and I admire it. I do. I admire the work and effort that goes into it. I think.
Oh yeah. Well, some fantastic ones.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's so cool. And there's something like with toy collecting. There's something for everyone with this hobby because for some of it, it's the making, the sewing, or the 3D printing, or you're working with those foam mats. For other people like me, it's more the acting to get into character and entertain when you're there. And there's one thing with cosplay that's the same with toys, like going to NSC with your mates, going to a Comic-Con with your mates. It's the same. It's basically, for me, it's having fun with me mates and having a good time. That's
it.
Top up the list.
I agree with that. TJC said Si would be Megatron, Si. Could you do that?
No, because I couldn't wear them sort of outfits. I've seen them Transformers guy, and they always seem to topple over, don't they, and hurt themselves and stuff. So no.
I have Phil. Good old Phil's up. I have treasures.
Genki Deska, Phil. Genki Deska.
Seeing that over there, G-Force, Paul Bugger's nearly dropping from the heat. Yeah, I tell you what, it's going to be hot. I've done Darth Maul. Face painting yourself in the mirror is a bitch. Yeah, you did Darth Maul. There's a few.
Yeah, we saw G-Force.
comment for that. Yeah, you kind of need someone to do that. Help your G-force. Yeah, not a good idea. Hundreds of people dressed up as Mexican bandits, as some British rail will use that excuse to hold you. I was the only one talented to do it. Like this morning treasures, everyone's saying, "Oh, this is brilliant! I love this chat, love it to pieces." My mates would have me look like a crack hole.
Okay, great cosplay to go as, yeah. And
Chris says, "Oh, Genki Desu." Is that what does that mean?
That means going well, everything going well. Domo arigatou gozaimashita, Phil.
This is how cultured he's gone tonight. Side Tub Thumpers.
We Dutch are known for one thing. Now there are a few things like things you can do in Amsterdam, but we speak a lot of language. That's what you know.
So is it right? So when we were at school, it was either French or something like that, Jim Appel and all that. So, but in the Netherlands, they really wanted you to learn English, right?
We learn English before we go to school. I learned English from watching Saturday morning TV, and then the cartoons in Dutch. Right. We had cartoons where they speak Dutch, and I didn't care for that. I want to watch the Saturday morning stuff on Fun Factory Sky Channel, and I learned my English literally from He-Man, Mask, Will, all that stuff that came on there. I learned it from perfect. One of the two first words I learned in English were perfect strangers, because I love watching Cousin Larry.
I can just imagine it. Okay, so teach me your English, no problem. My name is Chris, and this is Cringer, my fearless friend.
Yeah. It is. I learned English from TV, and that's why I'm all over the place in accents. So I usually say it's not why I'm trying to make fun of you, but if you put me in Scotland in a bar, I'll be talking a wee bit Scottish, and it got a wee bit more and more the longer I'm there. Awesome. And when I come over to Liverpool, I start sounding like McCartney. So I can't help it. That's how I learned English, and I take it over. It's something I can't really help. So probably when I come over in the States, I'll probably talk a bit of American. I don't know. I'll probably take it over.
Like you're all right, Chris. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. Yeah, you're right.
Basically, they do that joke now, where people say, "Oh, where are you from?" North Carolina. Like, is he joking? You know? Universal Toy Collector House Stu's here, Biker Scout. From a Scottish person says Dutch people speak English a lot more clearly than British people. Yeah, French and Spanish. Yeah, that's what we did. Didn't Shabby just swear at us in French? Well, you know. The worst part about cosplaying a storm. Hey, Hoppy. Yeah, because Hoppy does a cosplay too, doesn't he? Worst part about cosplaying a stormtrooper is small children. You can't see when they're at your feet. Yeah, that kind of. I think I'd be the same as Si. I'd have to go something where I can see everything and be comfortable and so. Because some of these.
Oh, listen, I'm clumsy now. I am really clumsy, and if I was to wear a suit that just was so discombobulated like that, I'd be.
With this on, you can see a bit downstairs, but I once wore a medieval helmet, only the helmet, and it stopped here, so you got really this vision, and I bumped into a trash can. Or when I did Skeletor, you saw it in the photos, you got those red LEDs here. You really got tunnel vision, and I had to go on stage with my buddy Ron, and we were going to do the catwalk at that time, and I fell almost off. I came in an inch from falling off stage in the end because I couldn't see where I was going with that line. Totally blind as a mole. Oh, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Oh, the only reason I choose to study German at school is because I loved World War II movies, says Dario, right?
Das ist ein guter Reden. Yeah.
Brilliant. Anyway. Here, Chris, your size question of the week. Right, Simon, finale. What is this week's question of the week?
This week's question of the week involves superheroes. And I was thinking, do you think the reason why God never made us superheroes is because if we were superheroes, a lot of us would use it for criminal activity?
Oh, nice.
Just think about it, right? Like, let's talk the real world as I am today, me, right? Can't be arsed with anything. So if you've just given me superpowers, why all of a sudden am I going to be arsed? Do you know what I mean? So I'd probably use them powers for criminal activity to get myself a load of money, and then I don't have to be arsed. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good question. It's good. One thing, there is a human being with superpowers on this planet. But we got Chuck Norris, right? So it's not. But beside,
got a point, Si. He's got a point. He's got a point.
But
is he finished yet? Yeah, he's finished. Right. So the question of the week, everybody in the chat, is: if you had superpowers, would you use it for A, good, or B, bad? Right.
Well, basically, but I think the problem why we weren't given them and we only dream about them is because the vast majority of humans would use that for criminal activity. Because I'm never going to drive a Bugatti or live in a big mansion or have millions of pounds. But if I was a superhero, if I had powers, then there's a lot more chance of me having that sort of stuff. I'd be more like Homelander than I would Superman, but without all the weirdness of Homelander, if you like me.
Jeez, you really thought about this one.
Yeah.
Fuller says, yeah, 100%. If I had X-ray vision, I'd be stood outside G-Force's house every day. I wouldn't use my X-ray vision for that. You never know. Chris, would you be a superhero or a supervillain?
Yeah, I would try to be like Tony Stark. So, but Tony Stark, does he really have a superpower? He's super smart, you know, so that's why he can make all those things he does. He doesn't really have a superpower now, I realize. But
no, he doesn't really. It's his suit. So he take his suit away, like Batman take his gadgets away. Not really a superhero. I think I'd try and be good, me. I think I'd do loads of stuff to help people.
He'd be worse than all of us.
Do you know what?
Into real criminal activity, he would. Stuff that you just don't want to talk about stuff. That's what he'd end up doing.
If you're gonna walk around like He-Man and doing good things, then I'll be your Skeletor. I'll be your nemesis in there. And we would have lots of fun in.
What I would do, I would as a superhero, I'd go in the construction business. I'd make a fortune. Think about it. You can build a house in about 3 hours. Done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All your visions and you're flying. And
so again, you'd use criminal activity. You'd put loads of people out of work to build these houses dead quick to get loads of money to live like I just said from the beginning. Like you can't be asked. Just give me the money. It'd be criminal activity.
G4 says the human being is designed to be flawed, Chris and Si. If we all had superpowers, we could not be trusted. I don't think we could be trusted. I think,
Well, think about it, Mark. I'm sat there Wednesday night,
right?
Just at a big pizza from Domino's, watching something on YouTube. I'm in my pajamas, and I get a phone call off whoever. There's a big, massive thing going on. There's a natural disaster. You've got to go now and save all these and do what. I'll be like, I can't be asked. I'm watching telly. EastEnders is on. So, but that's my way, innit? So, like, superpowers for me, I could only use them for useless stuff. Or criminal activity.
I'd only use my powers for useless. Winston, I would use my powers for good use 99% of the time.
Fair enough.
Kat says, but if everyone was a superhero, Chris and Si, there would be someone to stop you in your criminal tracks. Does that mean, right? So your question, what Kat's just reminded me now, is everyone's a superhero or just you?
No, that's what I'm saying. The reason I don't think we're given powers is because I think the vast majority would either waste them or use them for criminal activity instead of for the good.
Oh.
If they were in our world, like this is my world now, you know, if I was like there's some people are humanitarians, aren't they? And they do loads of things, but there's not many of them, is there?
Apart from the construction business, I'd also not tell anybody I was a superhero and play for Everton. Can you imagine? Can you imagine all your faces? You'd all be like, how did he? You know what I mean? And
but again, not criminal activity, not training, not having talent, just no. Straight in there, criminal activity.
I am a superhero. I use my powers for both good and bad, but when it's bad, it's bad. I'm outside G-Forces now. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, great. No, Shabby would say try. Well, I would try, but
I would try.
I would try to be, but you I suppose if you had them sort of powers, your attitude won't change a bit, would it, Chris? Inside, you'd be like, "Oh, I can do what I want." You know what I mean?
You would do. You'd be more selfish.
People would try to manipulate you, wouldn't you? If you would be like Shabby, if you were the one person in all of America having superpowers, people would try to steer you in certain direction and try to. You had to watch out for that, wouldn't you?
If I was a superhero, I just don't think the name Cranky Man would fill villains with fear. Kieran says, God didn't make any of the superheroes because then there would be supervillains. You see, it's unbreakable. So, yeah, you have to have the balance, don't you, with superhero. So, Matt says, I don't know about criminal activity, but if I were a Jedi, there's a 100% chance I would use the Force. We would, though, wouldn't you? You would. Yeah.
Like, let's be fair. If you could turn invisible, we all know what we're doing at one point with that invisibility, don't we? Yeah. We all know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So,
Connor would be Lord of
activity.
Connor would be Lord of the Dance. Brilliant. Oh, Stu says God didn't want to make us superheroes because he didn't want to see people running around in tight spandex costumes. It's bad enough with cycles stuffed into their tight lycra. He's got a point. All right. Well, let me ask you both a question. If you were a superhero, would you wear a superhero costume, or would you just be normal? Just Shabby in his shorts and t-shirt.
I'd totally rip Batman off for a start. Batman would be 100% ripped off, long ears, the lot. And then people would say to me, "Are you Batman?" I'd say, "Yeah, but the real Batman." That's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, of course you need to have a suit, and I would go, yeah, I am Iron Man. Of course
they are. See?
Think of the first time you lost your temper as a superhero.
Yeah.
Cool point. Watching EastEnders is a crime in itself. Oh, brilliant.
You see, Mark, you'd have no point because your name would only be Gem Man. Gem Man. So because you called Gem Man, I don't think anybody would be pretty worried about that, wouldn't they?
Oh, brilliant.
It would be fun to see. I'm thinking now it's two, a superhero and something with ponies. But
Pony Man.
Pony Man.
And the pony would turn into, that would... A mighty steed.
I would just like to say on behalf of Tub Thumpers, Stu, Chris Meara said that, not me inside. Okay, just Epic Badger. Howdy, folks. Just jumping in to say a quick hello. Looking forward to. Well, thanks, Jesse. Nice to see you, buddy. God tried to give Shabby a superpower to keep up with the chat. It's hard though. Oh, look who's here.
You know how we do it. West side. Coming from the west side. Nothing but the west side.
So straight from the hood of Reading.
Yeah, took time out from the gang violence of Reading.
From the he'd be good with all the gang violence and stuff. He'd make a good superhero, wouldn't he? Do you not think? VTR. But anyway, he says I'd probably end up as Aquaman. Aquaman sucks. What kind of criminal can you be in this scene? You'd make a fortune in the chippies, though. Look at it that way.
Yeah. And think of all the pearls you could just easily take off all them pearl divers and stuff. Just do it in a swoop, and well, you could.
He probably would have loved it if Aquaman turned up. Yeah. I'll catch him for 2, but I'll kill him for 10. You can compete with the Dolphins, VTR Dave. There you are. See, if people had superpowers, it wouldn't be a case of hero or villain. Just about how much an asshole they could be. Just look at modern day celebrities. 99 of them are tossers. Absolutely brilliant. I'd use my powers to make Everton win every time they had a match on.
Oh, win. That's awful. See, criminal activity. It's awful.
Yeah, really. I think 90% of the time I do good and help people. But imagine if you were powerful, either invisibility or teleportation. I'd probably rob a bank.
See, rob a bank. We'd all rob a bank.
Never know. Yeah.
We'd have to rob a bank, wouldn't we? Just to use our powers to see we could do it. We'd have to rob a bank.
George Aikens says too late. Already a supervillain.
But let me ask you, right? If you were invisible and you had to rob a bank, yeah, Chris, but everything you touch doesn't turn invisible, so only you're invisible. How do you get that money out of the vault? Now, I've thought about this, and I thought what I was going to do is I was going to transfer it to customers. So when customers are in, I take a bit out and I put it in the bag or the purse or the pocket, and then they take it out and I just get it off them after. How would you get it out? because you can still see the money.
I think there's an episode of Cops where they actually dealing with that problem, or did? Oh no, they had paint that they sprayed over it, and the loot became invisible too. Ah, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
You have to step by step, bit by bit, move it out there or get it somewhere, But wouldn't everybody run away from the bank as soon as they start a bag of loot hoovering through the hallway? Wouldn't everybody just run away in fear?
Yeah, it's a great interception, that, isn't it? It's a great way to steal a bank, because everybody was stealing it, so they wouldn't know where it was.
Yeah, but I think the only other way you could do it is by sitting in the bank all day till the bank shuts at night. And then you'd have to get your mate to come and pick you up, open all the doors, the side doors, just take as much as you can and get out within 4 minutes.
That's smart. That's the way, yeah.
Our Luke says, I only have invisibility. I always walk in and out of the room and Rach doesn't even look up. It's a gift. So I would turn invisible as he visits everyone from Babe Station.
That'd be my first job.
Brilliant.
My first job at the Babe Station, yeah.
Adam said I'd be Savage Man, spraying everyone with his sweet.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
That's a good power, yeah.
Coxie says, the real question is, would you accept a superpower if every time you used it, you had to climb into Mr. Bobby's superhero costume? Oh, imagine. There's a rumor going around that Martin and Steph's spare room smells of my theme song would be My Little Pony. Oh, brilliant.
Although, Mark, it is exclusive news that when Adam Berry did come here and he did leave, Anne-Marie did say, yes, he does smell very nice.
Did
That's
she?
Exclusive. Yes, she did.
Michael Reed said, if everyone was a superhero, sign Chris, would everyone have its own action figure? Oh, that's a good point. An action figure of yourself. If I had to steal from the rich, but I end up giving the poor with my... Zoe T said, I'd use Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. I'll just say, hold on to that thought, Zoe. Hold on to that thought to get the money.
Yeah.
So, if I had the power to steal from the rich, I would. But that giving to the poor ends with my poor. Stealing cash from the bank is so old school. It's all cybercrime now.
That's true, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Brilliant.
Invisibility wouldn't make any difference today, would it, really, for that?
You could just take a cartels and nobody would complain. Everyone thought about it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, Reynolds would have the ability to rapidly remember. There's no point in me being a superhero, says Martin, as I always arrive.
I can imagine. I'm here too late, mate.
Oh, brilliant. Martin, you would be perfect as Dr. Evil's top henchman. Dr. Evil's top henchman created an invisibility cloak that had to ditch, as it called, baldness. Anyway, so there you are. So you're happy with your answers to question of the week this week, Si?
It's a great
I am, but I'll just finish off with my last question.
Right, go on.
from about 20 minutes ago, which was, Chris, would you rather be in a tent or a treehouse?
Good question, Si. Worth waiting for.
Treehouse, yeah.
That's my questions of the week.
Yeah, I love those questions. I was looking forward to those so much. That's awesome. Back in the 80s, you guys must have had superheroes on cartoons. Some were really cool, but some of them weren't that good. I remember you had Roger Ramjet and Banana Man. Were they really that cool or not? You got to know who I'm talking about, right?
I remember Roger Ramjet. Roger Ramjet.
But I never saw them as like my main cartoons. We had that sort of clientele choice, didn't we? Like my main cartoons were cartoons. I mean, my favorite ever was D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I love Thundercats. I absolutely love Battle of the Planets. I love Ulysses 31. There was so many that I just loved. And so when I saw cartoons like Roger Ramjet or Danger Mouse, they were always like them ones over there. Do you know what I mean? For the little kids.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So tonight, Simon, chat, we have learned so much about Chris Mears. We've learned his favourite food, his favourite rock band. We know that he hates Dogstar and he loves Hollywood.
Keanu, if you're watching, I don't hate you.
We've seen his cosplay. There's so much more that we don't know. So, Si, once again, has scoured the internet and found real pictures of Chris Mears. So here is our Chris. The link to the Chasing 80's.
Oh my! Love it.
The link to the Chasing 80's YouTube channel is in the description below, and Scuba Pete put it up before. But if you're not subscribed to Chasing 80's, I don't know what do you say, Si, if you're not subscribed to Chasing 80's.
Still, one of my favorite ever videos on Chasing 80's was when they did that, all the G.I. Joe from Japan and going through all the history of the Japanese with Jeff Barker overtoning it. It was such a great video. And I have no interest in G.I. Joe, and I sat and watched a lot of that. And I think if you've got interest in G.I. Joe or you haven't, just go and watch that video. It's such a great video you've made there, you boys. It was really good.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. We're I think I can speak for the majority of people that subscribe to your channel. We're massive fans. I've told you this before. I've said it a few times. It's a tradition in my house for Christmas to save your Christmas video till Christmas Eve. I've done it for the past 3 years. I just love the Christmas videos, but I always watch it on Christmas Eve. And because I know you bring it out before, and I'm like, no, I just wait.
Wait till no spoilers.
No spoilers. But anyway, we've talked about everything else, but we're really here to see some of Chris's goodies. So, Chris, why don't you show me and our side and the chat what you've got?
Yeah. We're gonna get the camera. I got a few toys out. Thanks again for those photo reels. Some memories there that I forgot about. But
love
it. Was in the Breakfast Club, playing golf.
Running with Jeff and Pete for the field.
That one when Harry met Sally at the end when you got Scuba Pete in that turban turning down. Brilliant.
Right. I got this case here. So I'm going to show you some stuff that I think is cool. All right. Oh, it's a bit heavy holding it like it's empty. Nothing in here. I'm going to do a bit of magic on today's show. So I'm going to get my magic sword. And when I put along my magic sword and say, by the power of Grayskull, there's going to be something in this case that I like to show you guys. And there is something.
You fired, Si. You fired.
Dutch magic,
Dutch magic.
Wow.
And what I want to talk about first is this series. It's not a toy. It's
Oh
a series,
yeah, great show.
This show, if you're a Robin Hood fan and you've seen the one with the fox and the bear, which is brilliant, the Disney cartoon Robin Hood is brilliant. Absolutely love it. This series is gold. It came out in '84. It has a brilliant cast. The soundtrack on it by Clannad
Is it the one that goes Robin?
Yeah. The Hooded Man.
It's a great show, yeah.
This is quality. This is so good. It's 80s because you know the way they dress. You know, Michael Pratt in that, and later Jason Connery, son of Sean Connery. That's brilliant.
I remember him. He was in the Dynasty Massacre.
Yeah.
Remember he got married to Catherine Oxenberg, and they all got killed. So it was him, Robin Hood.
Yeah.
See, things you learn.
It's a great series, and like I said, the music. I have the album here.
Man,
by Clanet, and they signed it for me. And
it's great to have. Yeah, fantastic.
This is the music of Clanet. I love my rock with vampires, and I love music, but Clanet definitely has been a soundtrack of my life that has been me since the 80s. And not a week goes by that I don't listen to Clanet. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone's loving the channel. You've got loads of love for the for the Chasing 80s channel. Loads of it.
Cheers,
which is awesome.
Cheers.
You can't come on Tub Thumpers and do magic. Are you mad?
Oh no, we share the magic circle on the Tub Thumpers.
It's a finale, so that's why
we share. Anyone's got magic to come and share. Come and share it with the magic circle.
So Phil says that was Robin Hood was one of his favorite childhood shows. Yeah. It was though, wasn't it? It was great. So,
it was great. And the sheriff in that, Nicholas Grace, who plays the sheriff in that, he's one of the best. He's one of, I think, my favorite sheriff of Nottingham from all the Robin Hoods I've seen. He is brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great show. So that's my first pick. To toys, if that's okay. Or
this is awesome. Yeah.
What you want?
All right. I'm a big ambassador for Mask, and this Condor. Here we have the vehicle, and here he is on one of the stands that I got from Luke Reynolds. Brad Turner. He's a rock and roll, the musician in Mask. Definitely a favorite of mine, but lately I have a new favorite vehicle on the show, and that is Nissan 300 ZX, driven by Vanessa Warfield. And this is such a cool vehicle. This is
it is.
Yeah.
It up a bit, but it's such a cool. I'm trying to transform it if I still know how, because I haven't tried it out. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great, and that color, I wish I had a car like this in that color with those stripes on the side, and that's such a cool car, you know.
Yeah.
And there's Vanessa, that's Vanessa Warfield. I love Mask.
Are you going to be collecting the new ones, the new stuff?
Yeah.
I am. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm. Mask is in my top 3 of all-time favorite toy lines, and maybe it's my number 1, arguably the best soundtrack from any cartoon in the 80s. Maybe Jason and Will Warriors has a better.
It's weird though. Do you not do that thing, Chris? That when you hear the Mask music, now you just think of Reynolds. That's all I do. Every time it comes on, I always think of Reynolds. Yeah. You know what I mean? Looking at his wrist and the Mask thing. I always think of Luke when it comes on. Brilliant.
It's such a cool. It's a great cartoon, and the quality of the animation. As a kid, I noticed from this is really drawn in the animation. It's high quality in there.
Yeah, Mask is great. Yeah.
And they've been to the Netherlands in one episode.
So let me see. So did you say Jason and the World Wars is in your top 3?
No. Mask is in my top 3. But as far as soundtracks go from 80s cartoons, then definitely the Jason and the Wild Warriors soundtrack. There's the power that comes from deep inside. That's such a cool soundtrack. And the Mask soundtrack. Those two are definitely.
Let's see if I can guess your top 3. Let me see. Masters, definitely. Mask, because you've just told us.
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, you nailed it. Nailed it on the head. Those are my big 3. And Mask is definitely on top, and close second. Both.
Si, what's your top 3, Si? Your top 3 lines, toy lines.
Top 3 toy lines as a kid or now?
Any.
Well, I suppose it's the same sort of thing, really. You still collect the same, don't you? So I don't know. I collect a lot of horror stuff outside of all the other stuff I collect, and I do like that. Yeah, you do, I'd say my top toy lines have always got to be Multiverse, DC always first, and then probably either Marvel Legends or Decepticons. Because I don't buy Autobots, I only buy Decepticons.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
true. You do. Yeah.
Love it. Like that. I like that.
G-Paul says 80s theme song bangers, Battle of the Planets, Thundercats,
yeah.
Mass. We've got I think one of the lads before said
Voltron,
Ulysses,
Yeah,
Voltron,
Voltron.
Joe. Yeah, did it. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I love it.
Motu, yeah.
Definitely.
Adam's 3 top toy lines are G.I. Joe, Mask, and Micro Machines. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he loves his micro machines, Adam.
He sure
doesn't
does. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Already in the air is my third pick that I want to show you, because G.I. Joe is definitely in that top 3 for me. And this bad boy is, I'm restoring this one as it goes at the moment, so it's not completely done and complete yet, but this is one of my favorite toys from the G.I. Joe toy line. That Cobra Blue that you get here, a jet like this. This one has the landing gear all intact, and I'm not there to move it because it might snap. It's such fragile. But this toy, and there's a video on my channel where I get one of these bad boys back in the 80s, where you see me unbox it, and I think I'm jumping in the air when I got it from Joy as a kid. And this always stayed with me. It's such a, I love Rattlers. So this is the fourth one I'm gonna restore now and get it all minty. Awesome. Love it. It's so cool. And when I walk outside and I do that, I don't leave my toys on the shelf. I pick them up, and sometimes I go in the backyard and just go like, if you only go like this, that's so awesome. I still do that.
Yeah.
So Chester Street says Dino Riders, Motu, Transformers.
Dino Riders.
Palp says, let's not forget the classic theme song to Gemini. I agree with you, Palp.
That is a good song. Yeah. Definitely.
G-Ball says, bet you all can hum the yeah. Space 1999 original Battlestar Galactica vintage Star Wars. That's what Gap likes. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Don't throw it, Chris. Don't throw it. I'm a Space 99 fan. Transformers Action Force me, says TJC. Nice.
Yeah. Love it. I got already some new toys lined up here. My grill toy is from the Master of the Universe line, and it was this one. This is the Gringer from the Motu Classics line.
I remember. It was
2004 or something in the 2000s that this came out, and that was the first time that we got ourselves a Gringer.
Yeah,
and it's you can swivel the tail a bit, and the head is stuck. It doesn't articulate, but this Snaggletooth, he's great. And now that we got with Origins, we got ourselves an articulation Gringer. Yeah. I got 2 Gringers. So this small Gringer is definitely the grill piece in my entire toy room. This one, if a fire broke out and I have to run out with one toy, I would take Gringer.
It's nice as well because they made that classic ones more or less. They molded it like the old 80s one. Do you know what I mean? Give it the same sort of look. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great. And I'm not really up for an appearance, Adam. He's such a fun little.
Chris, don't do a Chad and throw that rattler into a Palatoy Death Star or a Castle Grayskull. Oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah,
I had to wait ages to get that Origins. Oh yeah, I think I just bought it straight away. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Notice the Starfleet's name's not listed. Queen, even though did the outro song. Wow, love all Motu. Yeah, big fans.
It's great stuff. I got 2 more I want to show you.
Okay,
and they're all Motu. I'm going to start with this bad boy. This is from 86, I think this came out.
Yeah.
And I just got this in the other week alongside with another Motu toy that I'm going to show you, also from 86. And this is so cool. And it's so cool to demonstrate, but it's hard to demonstrate it like this. So if only we had a clip or something to play.
Maybe.
That boy in action.
Let's have a look. He's awesome.
It's so cool. Who want to see that again? We got to see that again. Come on.
Okay. Absolutely brilliant.
Somebody in a board meeting at Mattel.
All I can say about that is my Claire would sit on that for an hour.
Going around. It's so wacky. Somebody thought of this at a board meeting in Mattel from, here's what we're going to do next. People are going to love this. And it's wonderful. Love it. It's crazy that I love
86.
it.
I can't believe you found
I've
it.
never
like
even
that,
seen
well.
that. I've never even seen it. Don't even know what that is. Doesn't
It's
ring a bell or anything.
Yeah, it's 86. This one came out with a few other cool vehicles at the
Yeah.
time. So it's but it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of the Motu stuff, especially the later stuff, I totally missed in the toy store. So I keep, later on when I got back into toy collecting and there was internet, I found out Clamp Champ. I never saw him around when I was back in the 80s, or those Twistor and Rotor and those dinosaurs, and I had no notion that they existed.
That's one of the coolest things as well, because I just bought a dragster and I got his bow coming today.
Yeah.
And I got him immaculate. And it's funny, innit? Because I don't remember, I sent to our site, I don't remember having that one as a kid at all. So that's one of the nicest things about Motu is the way they're upgraded or the retro line and stuff, you can put your vintage with it. So it doesn't matter what era you buy, it all goes together. And I love that about it.
It is. Setting things up for the next demonstration because I got a volunteer here for my last pick. Beastman was kind enough to volunteer for this one, so he's gonna sit down there. And this is also a vehicle from 86, I believe. I sometimes get the years wrong. I have to fire it up again. Here it comes. There it comes. It's the Fright Fighter from the Horde, but Skeletor's piloting at the moment.
Oh. That's actually a touchy subject between me and Scooby Pete. Did he tell you the story?
Why do you think I have it here? He said, Chris, you need to show him and show it last. Show it last.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's all scuba, but this has to be one of the fragilest Motu toys next to Eternia.
To find it like that. So we were at Joe Fest side. And it was sat there, right? And I thought, oh my life. And as I'm thinking of it, Scuba just walks straight past me and picks it up, right? And he's this and that and so forth. And the guy only wanted like $120.
That's good price.
I know.
But again, that does not ring a bell from when we were kids, CB.
Yeah.
Did we get these toys over here as Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, we had them all. Yeah, we got all these toys.
I remember him, like the ones like that and that.
Yeah, so I'm sat there and I'm thinking, please don't buy it, excuse me.
It's I hope you're gonna get one at Joe Fest or
I'll buy one.
Because if they're going for 120 over there, that's good price. Over here they're doing 150 to 200 for a complete one. And I had this one complete, but one of the guns over there, it broke into 3 pieces. That's how fragile the plastic on these later Motu vehicles and toys is. It's really
the price. I got a Battle Bones in the box, complete Battle Bones, and it was $50. That was it. So it was and there was a box between that or a box Zor that they had a box Zor for only $50 as well. But I took the Battle Bones. That's awesome.
Carefully gonna put it down because I don't want to break it. But it's such a great. But they had such wacky vehicles and things coming out at the end of Motu, and like Sai, I don't really am aware seeing that in the toy stores back in the day, because I think I was already into other toy lines. I was big into G.I. Joe at that time, so I didn't walk over to the Motu aisle. And
I always tell the story about Joe's. It wasn't until I, obviously later on in life, where I got into it and so forth. And Scuba and Jeff told me about the cartoon, so I watched all the cartoons. I think I did the lot 2 seasons in about 2 weeks. And obviously Jeff sent me a mobile command center, and all the lads. I've got the best G.I. Joe vintage collection in the world because I've only bought one of it. And they sent me a full complete conquest, and I've got this here and that. So I'm really getting into it. But
it's so cool. I'm
just going to make Chris even bigger excited. Just look at that behind him.
Let me go aside here so you can enjoy the view.
Zone.
It's there's a lot of this is mostly vintage by year. So if you start on top here, you get 81, 82, the first wave of it, and then we go down with the years, and then the other way, everything is. At first, I had everything, all mixed up, but I start displaying it by year, and I like it. I like it that way. So it
looks brilliant.
Yeah, that's a bad boy. The snake, the monster in there, is almost gone to dust, so that's really deteriorating. But the rest of the older Motu stuff, it's holding up really good. It's the newer stuff you have to watch out for, but that's
look at it. It's awesome, isn't it, Simon? That's absolutely brilliant.
Everything is filled to the knock with Motu for almost 2 walls in this room, and that's That's where I keep my Origin Snake Mountain. And there's a battle going there at the moment between the forces of good and evil.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Look at it.
It's great. Now the camera's going to be a bit shaky because I'm going to unhook it so we can see a bit more in the room. So that's all Motu.
Yeah.
And then there's more Motu. That's the Blaster Harcomp. Got that one in. That's also 86. That's also a vehicle I have no knowledge of it existed, but it's so cool and wacky.
Yeah, I found it at a flea market last year, that one. I think it's just missing, there's a wire on the top of it, like a plastic wire. I'm just missing that. But it shot things outside. It shot yellow discs out.
It's crazy. Yeah, there's the mask.
Remember it?
I love me some mask.
Yeah, I call that mask.
Yeah, that's so cool. And there's my vintage G.I. Joe. So I'm going to tell you a story about G.I. Joe. I'm a big G.I. Joe fan, and I wanted to go to Joe Fest for the last 2 years. I want to come over and meet all of you lovely folks over there. There's some Transformers, Stripticon, and there's some Space Lego. I love the Space Lego sets. That's a toy line in itself, I think. So,
yeah.
And then we're back here with Motu stuff. But I'm a big, let me put this back, big fan of the vintage G.I. Joe. And I was like, okay, this year, 2025, I'm going to be there. You know, I'm going to be committed to this. I'm going to be there. And as soon as that happened last year, when I said that to Pete for my coming over, the car broke down. I had repairs on the house. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go again. Third time in a row. I sold my vintage G.I. Joe collection in order to get to Joe Fest.
Wow, did you?
That was, and I'm like, oh man, such love and time went into collecting. I started anew since January, so everything you saw there was me collecting from start again since January. And on one hand, you can say, man, you're mad selling an entire vintage G.I. Joe collection like that. But when you put it like this, I sold my vintage G.I. Joe collection in 2024, so I can get to Joe Fest and meet my friends and be with my friends. That makes it totally worth it.
I can honestly say, Chris, that once you meet Super Awesome, Scuba and Shabby, you'll realise it was the worst mistake you'll ever make.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I do say starting again in January, and I got a nice collection going again, working with the Rattler now, and it's very refreshing going into it again. And I've been buying a Conquest now, and I've been buying other Joe toys that I didn't bought or had before in my collection. So it's very refreshing to start again. And the collection is coming along nicely. And of course, I'm going to pick up a few cool pieces at Joe Fest. There must be some G.I. Joe stuff there, don't you think?
Sometimes it's good though. I remember Golditron. I remember listening to Golditron once a couple of years back, and he sold and redone his collection a few times, hasn't he? And I like the way he talks about it. It's nice to start again and do stuff.
It is. It's good. And it was for a good, like I said, it's to meet my friends, and that makes it totally worth it. My friends, without the community and my friends around me, this means so much less.
Well, you're going to meet this guy. He says he can't wait to see you, Chris. He'll probably do this when you meet him.
Hey, hey!
Hey! He's you'll going to have a great time. Yeah, it'll be awesome to finally meet in person. Yeah, it's weird. It's going to be weird after all these years.
It's weird because like it is for you guys, the people you haven't met yet, you met them through live streams, through the videos. And I've been editing video stuff from last year's Joe Fest, and a Super Awesome Geek is in there too. So I've been editing footage with it really feels like I know all of you. So it's I'm sure as soon as you and I meet Shabby, it's like, but we've known each other for years, you know. That's
the photos. You know, it's been half a decade. This is what I was talking to the lads about a couple of nights back, saying, you know, we've known each other now for more than half a decade, which is strange, isn't it, when you think about it that way? But anyway, anything else you'd like to show before we go on to the next thing?
No, just packed a few things like that I think are interesting or fun to show. So I'm a good.
Well, there you have it, Si. There is some of the things of Chris Mira.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Right, let's get back to the chat a sec. The would be awesome to find me. That is so cool, Chris, but it would be worth it. Were you happy doing it? Were you, because we always have this thing. I've always said it. I can't get rid of anything. I tried it last year and I sold a couple of things last year and it ate at me. It was really weird because it's stuff that's in a shed as well. It's not as even if I've got it out. But were you the same way? Were you reluctant to let it go, or you thought, well,
Joe Fest, it felt good from the start. Never had a regret, and I'm enjoying recollecting so much right now that it's a whole new experience that I would not have had if I didn't do it. And it's for the right reason. If you're going to sell it, do it for a very good reason. And being with your friends on the other part of the globe, for me, that's out of this world, right? So, but if it weren't for that, I'm like you, Shabby. In any other situation, I'm like, I want to gonna hold on. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it'll be worth it though, because like I say, when you see everybody and it's a new experience in it and so forth, so that'll be awesome.
You're gonna remember that. You're gonna remember that the rest of your life. Like NEC, the first moment I walked up to the parking lot to the NEC building, and Stu came walking up to me from Chris Mila, yes,
Mila, oh mate.
That's just brilliant. You're never gonna forget. I'm walking around the corner, and there was everybody. Cy was in there, Dave, Luke. Dario, all the guys, and Scuba was standing there, and I'm like, and that was the first time we saw each other in the flesh, in the real world, as it were, and that's priceless. And of course, the bear hug came, and it was like we've been doing this for years since we were kids, so that's so special. Brilliant.
Biker, Blacked Out Hero, so he's here. So Biker, I keep saying Biker Scout. Oh, that's right, because he's right above him. So BOE's here, hiya BOE, and so forth. Keith Knight's here. So, with it being the last season finale, if you will, we've gone all out for this. Here is Size Magic of the Mind. Now, before I actually show this is a bit different this week, isn't it, Si?
Yes, it's. I've told you at the start I had to use all my power for the last show of this season. So today's, I was actually outside on location.
On location, Chris. On location. So here is Si on location. Magic of the Mind.
Welcome to the last show, Magic of the Mind of the season. So far, I've only done hand magic. Tonight, I'm going to make a person disappear. That person is Spider-Man. Thank you, Spider-Man, for helping me tonight. I've also got the invisibility cloak, which is needed to put Spider-Man in the next dimension, which is here. So what's going to happen is Spider-Man, I'm going to now pop in, and I'm going to transform you to the interdimension. Are you ready? Pull this off right, so we've got it right in a minute. Are you still there, Spider-Man? Can you please show your hand you're still there? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man is gone into the interdimension. See you next season for Magic of the Mind for more magic. Shazam!
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web any size.
No costs or need. This is brilliant. You've gone all outside.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
Prepare to be astounded.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Biker says you can always buy the collection back, Chris, but the experience of going to the States will be priceless. Yeah, I agree. It's a bit different. Imagine it. What do you mean? Is it going to work? Well, you've just seen it. You just saw that,
Yeah.
Kieran. Was that Marie? It was Spider-Man, Kieran. Spider-Man. For the love of everything, tell me that.
That's it.
Spider-Man! Peter Parker!
See? Look at that. Wind chimes. We saw him through the window. Steve, speechless.
Thanks, Dad.
What the fans look, absolute genius. Kieran Paul, total poet. It's like watching an episode of Vic and Bob's Big Night Out. Brilliant. Oh, look at this. Jono's astounded. Look at him. Jono's astounded, Si. What did the neighbours think watching through the curtains, Si?
They're very surprised I knew Spider-Man. But I do.
They were very surprised he knew Spider-Man. No cosplaying Spider-Man were harmed during the making of this production. Save the best for last, Si. In the 80s, we had Copperfield. Later, we had Blaine, and now we have Si. Gobsmacked, Simon. Gobsmacked. What a way to finish the season, Si. Your magic gets powerful every episode. Magic in action. Oh, brilliant.
Thank you.
What do you prefer, Chris? Size magic? Oh, yeah. What do you prefer, Chris? Size magic or his question of the week?
I'm a big fan of. I love his question, but I've been a big fan of his magic since the first episode, or since the one with the cigarette too. And I love it.
I'm Sorcerer Supreme.
Look at Anne-Marie. No, Kieran, it wasn't me.
No, it was not.
Super awesome geek show. I can't believe how real size magic is. Absolutely brilliant. Each week we have no idea how these are done. We are left flabbergasted. You know, because we've had some controversy with some guests believing it's not real, haven't we, Si? But we know.
Well, listen.
Quite like that one.
You can't teach people the mysteries of the universe overnight.
How did you get Claire to do that? How did you?
It wasn't Claire. Look, see, nobody
sorry.
told me Spider-Man was here. Nobody told it there, Claire.
Claire, I hope you stuck in for tons of Lego bricks for this one. Fantastic going for next season. Carol. Magic.
Thanks, Carol.
Si's just had a job offer from the Green Goblin. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. So there you have it. There you have it. So we've had, what a bumper season finale we've had. We've had loads of good stuff. Absolutely loads of them. So just before we go, though, me and Si, I did a stream saying that we just to get to 1,000, and our Si's has offered up. You want to tell people what you're going to do, Si?
Yeah, it's just we did a stream the other night because we got a bit confused really that the Shabby Geek channel was like sort of stuck for 966 for so long. And it was like getting to almost a year. So we just put it out there to see if we could get to 1,000. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a raffle and we're going to get people to put the names in. If they want to put the name on the raffle, we'll do a big wheel, and whoever wins gets to choose any artwork of any choice, portraits, superheroes, anything. Custom off Manga Fandango myself. It'll be a one-off, but we've got to get to 1,000 subs, and I think at the moment we're 5 away. So five people just turn around to 5 people and went sub to this channel. We can do this raffle straight away.
So obviously,
1,000. That's what we're doing.
You've seen Si's artwork. There's a piece behind it. Just to give you a look, this is what Si can do.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
There you go. So what you can do is, it was either on the last video, the 350 and the future of Shabbies. You can either leave a comment on that, just write size art. You don't have to leave a comment if you don't, just write size art. Or this one today with the lovely Chris Mira. If you write that on today and we get over 1,000, Si'll do any drawing you want, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So we're at 995, I think, which, listen, it's like I said, I really appreciate everybody that did that for me a couple of nights ago. We had about 74 people in the chat, and it was a lovely night, and it just meant a lot to me. It really did, because I didn't want to do it at the start, Chris. I was saying to Si, because I didn't want to come across like, I was just asking, really, how come? Because we've been stagnant for about a year, and I thought, what's going on? You know what I mean? But I got a few messages of people, which was awesome, saying, "Oh, Shabby, I watch you every week, but we don't subscribe." It was like, we just know you're on. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what it was. But it was brilliant. It was brilliant. So George wants a nude portrait of Scarlett Johansson.
You could win. You never know.
I know. Yeah. Thanks, Crumpet Gallery. It's comfy gallery. Absolutely awesome Tub Thumpers chat tonight. Cheers to Shabby, Si, Chris, and everyone in the chat. No, what a great way to end it. Absolutely brilliant. So ridiculous, Jason. Why I pay no mind. Coxie says you might be on 985 after that match.
Here you go again.
How lucky you had 2 magic tricks tonight. 2. Mirrors and size.
Yeah, I'll say we've got special guest magic trick.
Awesome show once again, Shabby. Another great season. Brilliant. Chris, got anything coming up you'd like to say before we depart for the evening?
Yeah, I'm going to JoeFed now. Already told that. Pete is going to be at Great Ohio Toy Show very soon. So he's going to send me all the raw footage he's going to shoot there. And we're going to turn that into a lovely little video. So we're going to get that on the channel very soon. And for the rest, there will be some cosplaying. Got an outdoor event called Elfia, where there's a great estate with a castle.
Oh, is that the same one you've done that previously? You've done videos there before?
I go there every year if I can. Yeah, definitely. So I love that. So I'm gonna filming a bit there too, and posting that on the channel. And there's gonna be a lot of stuff. You know, we don't throw a video out every week anymore. It's more like when we feel like we got something to show and want to share that, then we're gonna do it. You know, to keep it fun. Because that's the way to keep going, you know. Keep it like what you guys are doing. Keep it real, keep it fun, together with the community, and that's the way to roll. And if you have 1,000, if you have got 10,000 subs, it's the people that watch, the people out there in the stream right now with us again. Those are the ones we do it for, and we love them for it. This community is awesome.
I've got, I'd love to go to. I always get upset when Subi goes there, but it's like I said, when you two go to JoeFest, you'll realize why I don't go anywhere else except for that one, because it's just worth it. It's just definitely worth it. Awesome Tub Thumpers finale with Si, Chris, Shabby. The chat was amazing. Take care, everyone. Brilliant. I agree. G4's great finale for this current season. Right, we'll end it, but before we do, should we watch Chris's gallery one more time? Let's just watch
for Destiny. I think we should.
Yeah, for our Des, we'll watch the Chris's gallery.
I think we should.
There you have it. Brilliant.
Wonderful.
What's that behind you there, Si? What's that behind you?
Oh.
Premier League winners, just to remind everyone, we're not back in time.
Brilliant. Right. Well, anyway, we're on Tessie's channel on Friday. We got ZSL on Friday. And like I say, me and Si, we will thank you all so much for making season 3 of Tub Thumpers brilliant. I've loved it. It's been once again, it's been a superb season. We have got the galleries part 2 to do. So we'll get hold of Des, Zoe, and Adam for that. But apart from that, absolutely brilliant. So there's Al. So thanks, Al, for joining. Cheers, Si. Cheers, Chris.
No problem.
We'll see you all soon. See you later.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. See you later, guys.